Alright, so I'm mostly going to go off on the general stuff that happens in the world. I'm going to go act by act, divulge stuff based on what's divulged to you as the game goes along. Because I like the way that the game did it. Also, spoiler alert for everything that happens in the game. Alright, take your seats, let's start the show. So, our story begins with you getting exiled from Oriath, this theocratical sub-island that exiled you for breaking their religion in some way. Be it practicing dark magic, living the Anprim lifestyle, or being from somewhere else. You were exiled to Wraeclast, the big mainland island. Now, apparently, this is basically a death sentence because Wraeclast sucks and is full of skeletons and zombies and shit that want to kill you. But when you get there, it turns out everything you heard about Wraeclast your whole life is pretty much true. Yeah, there was a lot of bullshit going around, but yeah, the place sucks. But thankfully, your one skill is killing things, and it's the most valuable skill in all the land. So you end up doing odd murder jobs for people here and there. And while doing these jobs, you run into Piety. She calls you a bitch and then runs away. This is also the first time you hear about Chevron. She apparently did some evil gem science to a dude named Brutus and turned him into a monster. Along the way, you learn some history. A long time ago, there was a man named Kaum. He was a Kaurui, meaning he hailed from the archipelago Namakanui. He had lofty goals and big dreams, and those were that he wanted to smash the faces of the Eternal Empire. But he couldn't because a guy named Lionai led a legion of really good archers that killed the Kaurui before they could even land on the beach. Now, under Kaurui law, it was illegal for men to use ranged weapons, so King, smashing the glass ceiling Kaum, got his niece Hyri trained in bows, and she trained other women to shoot bows too. So then they sailed across the sea and absolutely demolished Lionai, and all was well until a thing called the Cataclysm happened. Suddenly zombies and skeletons and stuff started rising from the grave and eating people. Kaum reacts to this by having nightmares, going crazy, and killing a significant portion of his men and then dying. Hyri notices how fucked up all of this is, so she takes everyone who isn't crazy on a boat and fucking leaves. There's also some stuff about Sigmund Fairgraves, who's basically like the Christopher Columbus of this world, including the colonialism and slavery. Especially the colonialism and slavery. Also, there's this guy named Doresso, a Colosseum champion of the Eternal Empire, and his wife, Mervale. Mervale turned into a siren after the Cataclysm and killed Doresso. And then you kill Mervale, and everyone's happy about that. You also kill Fairgraves, and then later you kill Doresso and Kaum, but yeah, that happens in Act 4, so you don't have to worry about that right now. So, Act 2 has you find this Forrest Encampment. There, you're given more odd jobs. One of them is you need to find a temple where Piety took a ton of Oriathan blackguards. In the temple, you find Piety, she calls you a bitch, and runs off again. She was apparently there for another horrible creature made with evil gem science, Fidelitis, a creature created by a man named Malagaro. I wonder why we keep finding Piety around evil gem science stuff from history. If you think she's doing evil gem science herself, you're wrong. No, I'm fucking with you, that's absolutely what she's doing. Anyway, while you're doing busy work, you accidentally turn off the fucking sun. Oops. Well, technically you didn't turn off the sun, you just released the thing that turned off the sun. It was an ancient Vol construct. Now we get to talk about the Vol. So a long time ago, the first civilization to call Wraeclast home was called the Vol. They were Mayan Potamians who built temples, did sacrifices, and found these cool gems that let them hit things really hard and shoot lightning and stuff. They thought, maybe there's a way to make these gems stronger and betterer. Well, only way to find out is to kill thousands of people. And that's how thaumaturgy, the evil gem science, was invented. The Vol civilization lasted for a spell until Atziri's reign. She was a Countess Bathory type, but with evil gem science along with the virgin blood and torture thing, and she had at least 4 titties. Atziri worked with her gem scientist friend Doriani to do something called the Communion. We don't know much about that, but what we do know is that they wanted to commune with something called the Beast. This caused the first cataclysm. It opened up dimensional portals and time portals and basically just shoved the Vaal into the nightmare zone. Then there's the Azmiri tribes. The Vaal taught the Azmiri about civilization and society and shit, but would not let them touch the gems. Eventually, after the first cataclysm, the Vaal fell and the people who survived went to live with the Azmiri, who, after seeing the first cataclysm, went, Jesus fucking Christ, these people are goddamn insane, using the gems is illegal now. Specifically, this was said by a guy called Veruso. He went into the skeleton of the Vaal civilization and then formed the Eternal Empire, which brings us to... Now here's where we get to the lore dump. So you kill the thing that stole the sun, and you go into Sarn, the capital city of the former Eternal Empire, the city that was founded by Veruso. Now, Tarsius Veruso was the man who founded the Eternal Empire, but his family name didn't last very long. Sometime after his death, however, the Frisian family rose to power and had a dynasty over the Eternal Empire, and they did just a fuck ton of inbreeding. That was until we got to Izaro. Now, Izaro was the last of his line and couldn't have kids, so he made a declaration. We need a strong ruler for our kingdom. Someone who can hold the throne through all fear and doubts. Brave and unwavering. So, the person who will ascend to the throne will need to finish this fucking death maze I made. It has spikes and poison darts and fucking rolling pillars and shit. Whoever doesn't die in there wins the kingdom. Izaro was absolutely fucking insane, by the way. Anyway, this guy named Kadiro Parandis, the richest bitch in the world, said, I will bankroll your fucking bullshit death maze. Izaro replied, sounds like a good plan. Can't think of a reason it might not be. So, Kadiro handed the blueprints to his nephew Chitus, who won the bullshit death maze and became emperor. So, the rule of Chitus Parandis started. And Chitus was like, maybe, instead of making the gems illegal, what if we didn't do that? And he made them unillegal, and then forced people to mine them from the mountain, as well as other horrible things that gave you super black lung and made you crazy. And he hired this guy named Malachi. Now, Malachi was a thaumaturgist who asked the question, what if, instead of shoving this gem into my clothes, I shoved the gem into my arm? Oh no, I'm dead, but what if I did it in a way that wouldn't kill me? I'll need to kill thousands of people to figure it out, because time is a flat circle, you see. He was hell-bent on giving gems to people to give them eternal life, so he imbued a lot of people with gems and called them gemlings. This did actually help people get eternal life, especially after the Cataclysm, when all the gemlings turned into Zidzafwa Bekshinsky monsters. Eventually, he got pretty good at keeping people alive after transplanting gems into them, and then he trained 3 students, Malagaro, Chevron, and Doedre, who were all evil, evil bastards in their own special ways, and yet seemed to very much enjoy murdering people for their experiments. I want to call them a funny name like the War Crime 3, but the game just calls them the Depraved Trinity, which is also really good. Anyway, at some point, Malachi did a really good job, so Chitus gave him, as a reward, his bestest slut from the whorehouse because he was bored with her. Her name was Diala. Malachi really liked her and just shoved so many gems into her, like a stupid amount of gems. She became known then as the Gemling Queen. But, as it turns out, Chitus was not super popular. It turns out, enslaving people and forcing them to mine horror magic gems and thaumatic sulfite is something that might make people mad, especially if you're shoving previously super illegal and forbidden gems into rich people that might have them live forever at the cost of the lives of just so many people. Like, Malachi in the War Crime 3 killed lots. One of the people who didn't like that for religious reasons rather than you know, was High Templar Vol. He started a rebellion called the Purity Rebellion. He was the person who told King, killing the Wage Gap Kaum, to kill Lionai, and he was the person who had Hyrie trained in bows. He also got a ton of other people to help, including a poet, several generals, the Ezamites, and the Mariketh, and eventually he won the Purity Rebellion. So let's pause there and go back to modern times. So it turns out Dominus, the High Templar King of Oriath, and Piety, his thaumaturgist, are using the old temples and laboratories of Malachi to do their own evil gem magic, because time is a flat circle, you see. Speaking of that, you meet the Gemling Queen Diala. She says that Malachi was cool, but then he totally changed after the rebellion, and I told him to fuck off. Also, I told Piety and Dominus to fuck off too. They remind me of Malachi, but like a shitty, worse version of him. Go kill them, please. I don't want them in my city anymore. Piety, in the meantime, is trying to make gemlings, but she's either really bad at it, or is trying to make an army of horrible, mindless monstrosities, in which case she's at least okay. Though anyway about it, she's hitting some very high levels of failure. Anyway, she murders someone in front of your face while doing evil gem magic, calls you a bitch and runs away again, but then you get to kill her. After that, you find the man who exiled you, Dominus, and it is time to fucking kill him. But after you do kill him, he ascends to godhood. Maybe using the cataclysm nightmare magic of the beast, or maybe just ascending to godhood through regular means, but the point is he turns into a giant horror monster. And then you kill him again like 5 minutes later. So Diala tells you, hey, could you head up the mountain and help me clean up a fucking mess I made a long time ago? So you make your way up Mount Veruso? I think it's Mount Veruso. Every time it's mentioned as the mountain next to Highgate. Anyway, you arrive in Highgate, a place that's run by the Mariketh. They're desert people who mostly roam in tribes, or Akaras. This particular Akara is ruled by Sakema Oyan. She has radical ideas like, let's not be closed off forever, or maybe it's okay to let exiles in sometimes, which is something that hadn't been done since Deshret's time. Who was that? So let's get back to the Purity Rebellion. Vol won! He did it! He's king now! Chitus is fucking dead! And the 3 students of Malachi, Malagaro, Chevron, and Duedre, get fucking killed. That was a good call on Vol's part. Problem is, he's ruling in a post-rebellion world. Those aren't known for their complete stability, especially when he wants to make radical changes like making gems illegal again, and Vol's just general incompetence. Basically, the Empire went into a bit of a downward spiral after Vol took the throne, but his biggest mistake of all was he did not kill Malachi. Malachi was like, hey, actually, don't kill me. I found out what makes thaumaturgy and the gems work. It's this thing called the Beast. It's sleeping in Mount Veruso. I got a horror cannon that can break me into the bowels of the Beast, and I can destroy thaumaturgy for good from there. Oh, okay. Cool. I'll let you live if you do that. Totes. Hold up. I will be right back, though. So he took Diala into Mount Veruso, grabbed his horror cannon, and said, hey, I'm going to have you power this horror cannon with your entire fucking body like a human battery, so I can go inside the Beast and just fucking take control of magic and kill everyone. Is that cool? Her response was, sure. Actually, no, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. And so the death cannon only went off a little bit, but it was enough. Malachi went inside the Beast and started communing with it, like the Vol did, because time is a flat circle. But he was inside, so he could do it more directly. He started giving everyone nightmares and making them crazy, and bringing the dead back to life, causing the cataclysm, and is very much the reason Wraeclast sucks. And he was going to do more, until Sekema Deshret took her banner and locked him in the mines with a powerful spell, and then fucking died, assumedly killed by Vol, who, after the Cataclysm, became king of the skeletons. After the death of Deshret, the previously united Mariketh broke off into several different tribes and stopped fucking around for even a second, and they haven't for 200 years, because Wraeclast is a shitty place, but goddammit it's our shitty place. Anyway, back in the present, when you show up, it turns out Vol is still fucking around being the Skeleton King, so you gotta kill him again. You do that, you get Deshret's banner, you break the spell, and Diala's like, hey, so I've been around for 200 years, I'll just let you drain me and use the cannon if you promise to fucking murder Malachi. Also, any Kalman Duresso's hearts, just go kill them too. So you use the horror cannon to get into the beast, and it turns out Piety is fucking there. She got corrupted by Malachi. After you beat her ass down, she's like, I will help you if you promise to fucking murder Malachi. So it turns out the Warcrime 3's souls are guarding Malachi, so you need to kill them. Then you and Piety face down Malachi together, and then Malachi just runs her through. You share a tearful moment with the Mangala of this universe, and she says, maybe 'twas I who was the bitch all along. So, to kill Malachi, you need to kill the beast. Basically, you give this non-Euclidean creature 3 heart attacks, cutting off Malachi's life support and killing him, stopping the Cataclysm. Well, sort of. I mean, there's still zombies and skeletons and stuff rising from the dead, which isn't great, and also killing the beast definitely didn't make the gems stop working, but now no one can start another Cataclysm, which really, based on the track record, was only a few decades out. So you decide, fuck it, let's just go back to Oriath and kill everyone. So you teleport into the slave pens and free the slaves. Well, I mean, you show up while they're freeing themselves. Shit's gone very crazy since Dominus died. Dominus's replacement, Avarius, is raving about hearing God in his brain, and the slaves are revolutioning, led by a guy who says he hears the Kaurui hunger god Kitava in his brain. And not to take sides, but it'd be great if you killed Avarius. So you go into his temple and you learn about the religion of Oriath. So a long time ago there were 2 kids. One was named Sin, the other was named Innocence, and there are several stories of their childhood and they all go like this. So then Sin entered high school, and the brave students began courageously shoving him into lockers and giving him swirlies. One day, a teacher asked a question. Sin raised his hand to answer, and the teacher rightfully called him a fucking nerd and laughed at him. But then, Sin spoke and, cover the children's ears, he said, hey, you guys aren't being very nice to me, and I don't appreciate you bullying me like this. It hurts my feelings very much. The fucking impudence of this disgusting cold child! But thankfully, his brother, our Lord and Savior Innocence, showed up and kicked Sin's fucking teeth in. So we held a parade and told Innocence what a good boy he was. Praise be. Anyway, eventually the people just fucking burned Sin at the stake, and then he turned into ash and blew away into the wind, but when people breathed him in, he made them all kill each other. And Innocence was like, Sin! No! How could you do this to these poor, innocent people? So anyway, you find Avarius who's been hearing Innocence in his brain, and then you kill him. But then, Innocence just pops out, so you kill him too. And then Sin just shows up and is like, hey dude, sorry about my brother, he's kind of a dick. Anyway, side note, shit's fucked right now, but it's about to get a lot worse. So, turns out the guy who was leading the slaves to revolution took his distressingly literal eat the rich rhetoric and turned it into eat the everyone. He was also literally hearing the horror god Kitave in his brain, and oh god, everyone is either a horror monster or being actively devoured. So, you kill that dude, and then you try to kill Kitava, but for the first time in your life, you fail to murder something. But it's okay. Sin saves you and says, nah, it's cool, dude. You're immortal, and it looks like the gods are all coming back, and well, there's maybe only a little bit of something that we can do about it. Shit. Yeah, I just hope the beast is okay. You did what? Sin asked calmly on the ride back to Wraeclast. You killed the beast? Why would you do that? I put that there for a reason. It keeps us gods asleep so we wouldn't despotically rule humanity anymore. Well, okay, fair enough. When you guys had to go at it yourselves, it only took the Vaal 400 years to corrupt the beast, and, well, it seems like despotic rule is just a thing that goes around. Time is a flat circle. Anyway, remember the depraved trinity, the war crime 3? Well, they're more resistant to death than fucking piety, and they're staying alive because of the Dark Ember, a thing I made the beast out of. If we can run around Wraeclast and kill them, we can maybe get the Dark Ember and use it to kill Kitava. Oh, and while you're at it, you're really good at one thing, killing. So if you could clean up the fucking mess you made and kill all of the gods, that'd be great. So then you trek back through Wraeclast, and Sin tells you all about the gods and the time before the Vaal. We're not great people, honestly, so I thought it was best to make us all just go to sleep forever. So the first god you're going to kill is Tukohama. He's a man who went to the ancient Kaurui and was like, isn't being peaceful fisherman boring? Don't you just want to get on boats and kill people? Some of those people happened to be children, and some of those children happened to be Wraeclathas. She was so anguished by the murder of children that she decided everyone would be her children, so she could never lose all of her children again. So she implants mind bugs into people. You're gonna need to kill her as well. Oh, and speaking of fishermen, a long time ago there was a kingdom called Suatha. It's underwater now, but it was ruled by a man named Sagath. He wasn't able to have a son, so he just kept sleeping with women. Until he became the God King of Sirens. And by that, I mean he seduces women and then turns them into sirens, and then puts horrible monsters in their bellies. Oh, he's got your friend? Ooh, that sucks. Also, there's Goat God. He's the god of goatmen. Watch out for him. Anyway, Chevron is hanging out in the prison with her evil science creation, Brutus. Go kill her. Alright, good work. Now we gotta go get Malagaro. Malagaro has hidden himself inside of a map. You can use maps in the map device to go to an area and fight a boss. Also, by the way, your friend was taken by the Vaal god Ralakesh, the god of a million faces. He, like Wraeclatha, also wanted to control everyone, but in a small little alcove blocked off from everything. I don't know much about his past, but he was probably a huge piece of shit. And now you're going to have to deal with the other Vaal gods. So, there was once a queen called Arakali. She was the horniest of sluts and fucked her way directly to the throne. Well, sort of. She fucked basically everyone so much that the daughters of Queen Gruthgul were afraid that she might threaten their claim to the throne because she, well, boned down with the entire kingdom, and she had the popular vote. The daughters tried to kill her, but surprise, surprise, she fucking murdered them. And probably fucked their husbands. I don't know, but I would guess. Then she became queen, and became, currently she thinks she's the goddess of love, but really what she wants to do is just fuck the earth dry. And before you ask, yes, I have hit that. No, I would not recommend you do. So the previous queen, Gruthgul, ran away after she was so distraught after her daughter's death. And her subjects, who were loyal to her and wanted Arakali off the throne, told her it was good to be mad, it was good to be distressed, and that she should just go absolutely fucking apeshit. So she did, and killed all of her followers. Welcome back to Sarn, Exile. Anyway, Doedre's back and she said,
I'm poisoning the watering hole. I lost so much weight I can use my excess skin to fly.
Please kill her. Good job with that. Now as a reward you get to kill the Izmiri gods. So there were two regal sisters who created harmony for all of the land. To do this, Solaris used her magic to raise the sun at dawn, and Lunaris brought out the moon at night. But as time went on, Lunaris became resentful. The ponies frolicked and played through the day, but shunned and slept through her beautiful... A really weird way to put all this, but... I mean, that's what it says. Anyway, go ahead and just kill him. Okay, so... what we need to do now is we need to go into the beast and squish the depraved trinity together into one horrible fat slut so we can kill it and take the Dark Ember. Oh, gods? No, there's no... You don't have to worry about... I mean, really, do gods even exist? I'm feeling a little Ricky Gervais about this subject, I think. Okay. So, there are two gods. The Marikath gods. The Queen of the Winds and the Queen of the Sands. My wife and daughter, respectively. So, my wife, Garukhan. She was great. I mean, she was sharp as a knife, and she had this indomitable energy that was infectious. She was basically everything that I wasn't, and she pushed me to be my best self, I guess. She was real proud, and she had some big dreams. One of those big dreams was ruling over humanity. When she told me that, I kind of looked at her and us and the rest of the gods in a bit of a different light. I thought maybe we shouldn't have all of this power. You know, maybe we should let humans do whatever the hell they wanted. You know, keep out of their business. Our wars were kind of killing them in droves, and a lot of them didn't have any say in the matter. The other gods, my wife included, didn't like that idea. So I took all of these gods who made me a pariah, including my wife, and put them all to sleep. I'm sure as a flat fucking circle, ain't it, Exile? And as for my daughter, Shikari, what a great kid. Immediately took after her mother. She was an unstoppable force from day one. And she grew into the kind of woman that, I mean, no matter how hard you try, you just couldn't hate her. She could charm the pants off a slug, that one. And to my great chagrin, the boys loved her. But she kind of got her mom's aspirational spirit, which for the most part was great, but she thought that she should have more than both of us, that she should fly higher than us, and, well, her mom was queen of the sky. You know, I tried to tell her that being queen of the desert is really something to be proud of. It's not something that anyone could accomplish, but she, well, that jealousy just grabbed hold of her, and you can see what it did. Exile, I don't want you to kill them. But they'll kill everyone here if you don't. So, you know, I'll leave it up to you. Now we have the Dark Ember, and we can kill Kitava, the most horrible, dangerous, and inhuman god of them all. But somehow the one with the most funny backstory. There are several stories about Kitava, and they all go like this. Now Kitava, I'm going to leave this pile of muskets with you. We need these or the tribe won't be able to hunt or defend itself, so make sure the pile of muskets is safe and nothing happens to it. And listen to me, do not, under any circumstances, eat the muskets. Okay, Tugohama. Okay, you will not eat the muskets? I won't eat the muskets. Okay, I'm gonna go somewhere else now. Hungry, though. Kitava? Yeah? Did you eat the muskets? Possibly. Time for your ironic punishment! So a ton of people started worshipping and ascended Goofus. I mean, I'm one to talk, but this man very much did bring all of the punishment he got on himself. Anyway, to kill him, I'm going to need my brother to help. He's a dick, but I think that we can humble the himbo out of him. Alright, let's go, Exile. We have the worst god to kill. And then you kill Kitava. The end. Well, not really. Kitava is dead and all is right with the world. Well, that's actually not true. So, during your travels, you ran into these Forsaken Masters, exiles like you who just got real good at what you do, and one of them's name was Xana. She had a strange interest in maps, these stones that held the ability to travel to different dimensions. Eventually, all of the other Forsaken Masters decided to betray you, but Xana said, "No, you guys kind of killed my future wife's entire Akira, and I don't think she'd be cool with us still hanging out." And they were like, "Yeah, okay, that's fair. See ya." Anyway, Xana met you and told you that she was kind of also exiled for working on maps and trying to learn about them. She followed in the footsteps of her father, Valdo Caesarius, I swear to god the names in this game, who was the chief cartographer for the High Templar before Dominus. One day, Valdo said, "Sleep tight, honey. Dadams needs to go do mapping now, and she never saw him again, just like the children of real-life Path of Exile players. He became consumed by the other worlds and fighting a creature called the Elder, just like the real-life Path of Exile players. Eventually, mapping corrupted him and drove him insane, and he declared himself the Shaper of Worlds, like a fucking nerd. And now there's just two bastards fighting over control of the multiverse, and you need to kill them. And eventually you do. But then you keep mapping. You just keep going, and Xana's like, wait, stop. You killed the final boss, you're good, you can stop now. But you just keep going, you crazy bastard, and so Xana locks you away in the Atlas, hoping to keep you from coming back, because this is exactly what happened to Dadams. And also because, let's be real, you're too dangerous to exist in this world. Until a new protagonist, also on a quest for more post-god killing power, hunts you down and kills you, because, you see, time is a flat circle. The end. So kids, what did we all learn from that?
Well, my daddy went to 7-Eleven a long time ago. He said he was getting cigarettes, and he didn't come back. Do you think he's mapping too?
Yeah,